Hello out there, my name is Benjamin and welcome back to Blaben Solutions. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple method that you can use to remove an object or an image from the background of a photo. And this video is coming up shortly. If this is your first time at Blaben Solutions, then note we are into the production of graphic design video tutorials. So if you think videos of such nature will be of great benefit to you, then I encourage you to hit on the subscribe button and also making sure to check the bell icon so as to be notified whenever we release new videos. If you see anything in this video that you think you like or has helped you, then go on and like this video and let me know it by leaving it in the comment box below. As you can see, this is my Photoshop interface and currently I'm working with Adobe Photoshop CC 2019, and some of the features shown in this video will not be available in the older versions of Adobe Photoshop, including Adobe Photoshop CS6, but you will be able to follow along with the adjust edge sliders in the refine edge dialog box. So with this said, this is the first image that we will be working with. So the normal way of selecting an image from the background is what I'm about to do. What I normally do is I go to the lasso tool and maybe select my magnetic lasso tool, press Ctrl+ on my keyboard to zoom my image in. Then I can easily click from the starting point this way and gradually move along the edges of my object. Then I can have a quick or a good selection of the image that I want to work with. So as you can see, press on the spacebar to drag the image, and this is very hectic. I don't know, it takes much of my time and sometimes even makes me lazy. Come on. So with this magnetic lasso tool, I will be able to select my images, or I will be able to crop out my image as well from the background of my layer. So as you can see, this is how it works, and this is taking much of the time. Okay, so provided I don't like this portion, so I'm just selecting it anyhow, and there you have it. I just click in here and I've made a selection of my image. So now that I've made a selection of this image, what I'm going to do is I can come here and select the quick selection tool and I can add to the selection. Okay, so in here I think the selection should take some portion of this here, so I can just come in here and just add to the selection this way, and I can delete from the selection or subtract from the selection by coming up here to the property bar in here, click on this subtract from selection, and I can easily wipe this out. And it's making stuff so difficult here. So we can add to the selection by selecting or holding our shift key and clicking, and we can, so if I hold my shift key on my keyboard and select outside, I can add to the selection. You see what happened? And if I hold my alt key and select, I can delete or subtract from the selection. Now if let's say I've done a perfect job now here and I'm done selecting everything, so what next? What I'm going to do is I'm going to just come to my select and mask. So let me zoom this out, select and mask, and everything. So I'm just going to turn everything back to where it was. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select my radius, drag this to maybe 2 pixels, and maybe smooth this out a bit, and that is it perfectly. You have gotten. So Control J to duplicate my image, and I've made a selection from the original image that I just brought in. And it took me, like, let me say, almost 3 minutes, getting to 4 minutes to get this done. So let's quickly now move on to that one easy step that will make the magic for us. Okay, now Adobe Photoshop, the latest versions of Adobe Photoshop CC has an inbuilt machine learning technology, which is an AI that automatically selects an object directly from the background of a photo or an image. So let's do that. So I'm going to turn off the visibility of this layer, and I'm going to turn this back on. And well, to get that artificial intelligence to do that work for you, you need to select any of your selection tool, and I think most of the times it works with the quick selection tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my quick selection tool. This is my quick selection tool, that is W for the shortcut key. And when you come onto the property bar in here, you can see we have select subject and select mask. Mine is turned, as in it's gone faint, because the layer I'm on is turned off. So I'm going to select the layer that I want to work with. So that is it. So currently with my quick selection tool, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select the subject, right? So let's select the subject. So it loads and quickly it selects a subject for us. Now the result of the selection is not that great, but it is a great starting point. So now the next thing we need to do in here is to quickly select our selection to quick selection to now increase the brush of this, either reduce or increase the brush. And in here we are not going to add to the selection, we are rather going to subtract from the selection. So hold your Alt key on your keyboard and you can see what it has turned into. And let me reduce the size, and I'm going to subtract from the selection. So this is the same thing we did for the earlier or the previous selections that we made. So with this we will just select or subtract from the selection this way, and so you can just add this to the selection, and there you have it. Now the reason why we didn't get a great selection was that the background was a busy one. The background wasn't a solid background. Okay, so you could see a mixture of colors. You could see, let me say, a creamy color here, a brownish color here, a black color here. That is the main reason why we didn't get that great selection. Now let's look at this image and let's see what happens. Now you can see this has a solid background. Okay, so when I use the same artificial intelligence to select the objects, look at what happens. And if I select layer max or select max, you can see that we have a perfect selection, even though it is not that perfect, but it is good to go with. So the next thing we need to do in here is to just do some adjustment, twist, turn and twist some things in here. So we just have to smooth this a bit. We just have to increase the contrast a bit, and we don't need to bring the feather here. Let's increase the radius to 1, and there we have it. We've made a selection of our image. So Ctrl J to select, and we have this done for us. So we've now selected this image, or we've taken the we've made a selection of this image from the background that we had previously. It was this, and now we have this, so we can easily work with this image. That is, anything that we want to do with, we can easily do with this image. So let's look at the next image, or our final image, which is this one. Looking at the background, is it a busy background or is a solid background? Though, well, someone might say it's a busy background, but let's see what the artificial intelligence does for us. So you can see that even though the background was busy, but it was not that too much busy, so the intelligence was able to make a great selection for us. So bear this in mind: the busier your background, the more work you would have to do on the selection. All right, so if I zoom this out, sorry, if I zoom this in, I can easily add to the selection or subtract from the selection, and if I'm okay with what I have in here, I can just quickly what do you call it, select and mask, and I can increase the radius a bit to, let's say, 1, smooth the edges here like this, and I think I'm good to go. And the next thing is to click OK, and let's duplicate this layer, Ctrl J, and we've made a selection out of the image that we had. So the previous image was this, and now this is what we have. Alright guys, so this brings us to the end of today's Photoshop tips and tricks. If you think you've learned something in here, please do well to like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do well to subscribe as well. Until I come your way next time, it is still Blaben Solutions, and thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.